And we are back.
For more Tropical Island madness, and hopefully I'm a little more used to this game after those first 3 episodes?
3 episodes, maybe 4, maybe 7. I don't know. I didn't count them.
After that boss was definitely frustrating me on a very... This is a new day for us recording.
Yeah, it's a very different boss too.
Oh god, it was just... I like 90% of that boss. I just did not like the last portion of it because it felt a little unfair that you had to be that perfect. And this game has never had... I don't remember...
The most perfect mechanics, yeah.
Well, not even like the most perfect mechanics, but I don't remember any boss being that strict, except maybe the final boss?
I think the final boss took a little bit, but you got him like an hour, 45 minutes maybe since you came back, so you had to refight him?
He wasn't that bad, but when we first loaded it up, I had to realize I had to fight him again. That was a little bit, oh, well, cool to get practice, but also, what the heck?
Yeah, it was a lot like the, do you remember the, oh look, there's Beelzebub.
What do you mean there's more than one hit? Come on.
Do you remember the Vine lady? We couldn't figure out her mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird. That one's probably like, oh, it's gonna be this kind of game where you figure out each individual mechanic, kind of like there's a trick or we're missing something. Yeah.
That being said, free DLC, I can't complain too much. Like, this seems like a very solid piece of work so far.
I really like the music too.
Yeah, I mean,
I was admiring it when I was doing the editing. I'm like, that's right. This game has awesome music between 8-bit and 16-bit. 8 and 16, right?
8 and 16. I'm trying to remember. I guess I can hold on that edge a little bit. Yeah, this game is still going to take a while to get used to.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it. It's a lot of that. Remember, that's why they have so many.
Can I cheese it? No, they thought I had.
Yeah. That's why they have so many checkpoints, and it's very forgiving. Because a lot of the time you die on a lot. I mean, how many times did it say? Like 250-ish, something like that?
Okay, so he died in one hit, but the other guy took multiple. That's weird.
I think what it is like maybe distance. Maybe you do more damage if you're closer. I don't know. Oh, there you go. They just keep slashing those guys away until they get low.
I think I'm supposed to do like a double wall grapple.
How do you mean?
Like that.
Oh, to go through them or whatever? Because they don't hurt you, right?
No, they don't.
Up.
Aha, you can't run off the edge. You're still not dead. That's not cool. Die already.
Go, man.
Oh boy. So yesterday you got to go to a cool event, but I was like, nah, I gotta illustrate children's book stuff.
So yesterday we were having a friend,
and we were running the air conditioning, so I was like, I'm gonna abuse this.
Yeah, it's still already hot in here, even with the AC on.
I can wear pants though and not feel too bad though.
I'm wearing shorts and I'm still dying. But we had a friend who was inviting us to a full contact, like an armored knight style, like full armor, medieval style, combat sport thing, where you get points for like technique and fighting and
Kendo, but hits. With armor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doesn't Kendo have like light armor or something like that?
It does.
Yeah.
But
this is like full like
mails.
60-pound, some sort of plate mail, some sort of, I don't know what you would call it technically, but yeah, and actual big ol' fuck-off weapons.
This is where I die every time.
Like 20-pound swords, 30-pound swords.
Maybe if I do this.
I was gonna say slash from there, yeah. Our friend
checkpoint
was his first fight there, so seeing it, I was like, I don't know what really to expect that much, but I went, and it was 100-degree weather in a CrossFit gym, and they were all putting on their armor, and the rounds last 1 minute, because by the time they're done, it's because you're fighting with 60 pounds of weight of metal on top of you, plus a weapon, and it's not exactly the most comfortable stuff ever. You know, like the gloves, like, don't open all the way. They only slightly grip down and kind of open up a little bit because you have to have that full plate across it.
Right. That was one of the more revealing things, learning about fights for real.
Yeah.
Unlike the movies and anime. Oh, yeah. Like, real fights in real life, that's like 1, maybe 2 minutes because you're freaking exhausted after that. Because you expend all of your energy.
Yeah. And even trying to put on the armor, it was super taxing watching them. It took them like 30 minutes to put on armor, at least. It's like, holy hell. And they needed help too. Like, you needed to have like squires or somebody else come through. A lot of people had like other friends or their girlfriends or wives or the other knights, you know, or the fighters going through and helping them put on the plate mail and everything. It was intense, and then they walk up and they're just sling, walking around. It's like, I can't even tell who the heck that is because they're so covered in armor.
Right.
But it's funny because our buddy had to borrow armor because it's either you buy your own or you borrow someone else's. They don't have like a one-size-fits-all. It has to really be specially fit to you for the most part.
Did I not get the checkpoint last time? Because I thought we got here before.
I think this is just another section, although this does kind of look familiar, huh?
It looks very familiar.
Can't you not pass the checkpoint with like unaccidentally?
That's what I would think.
Yeah, because I thought it was a wall. Like you had to touch it.
I remember you commenting on that and saying, that's bullshit.
Yeah. This does kind of seem familiar. Maybe it was just at a similar spot.
Maybe.
Yeah, he had to try and he was using somebody else's armor, and mid-fight, they're slamming weapons full speed at each other, and his helmet flies off, and it's like, whoa, shit! And you even see like the I guess you call him referee. The referee like ran in with he has a stick on the end with a like a red flag on the end, and you have to put him between everyone's faces because you have no peripheral vision. You can't hear much of anything when you have these helmets on.
I think I gotta go reset these things.
Oh, that doesn't sound right.
I gotta reset the enemies because that's the only way to get up. Because since I fell.
Yeah, but that guy.
Can I hit those bushes?
Like you can't.
Oh.
The bushes do look like they're in the foreground.
Oh, I know what I can do.
Are you gonna hook shot to it or whatever?
Yeah, just do one of these.
Oh, a little bit earlier,
yeah. A little tricky.
I don't think they would have designed it to where you can't do it. There must be something.
Yeah, there's probably a way.
But there you go. It's just a little trick. It's a little trickier.
Yeah, it's a lot trickier.
So his helmet flew off and it was crazy because one person, if they don't notice and they go to swing, because you're going for the head too.
Yeah, no.
You're going for the head. You're going for. Now the head doesn't do too much to them other than kind of knock them to the side, potentially knocking them.
That's what NFL players used to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like their helmets are way bigger, huge, padded, more padded. They're massive. Like they add like 6 inches to the top of your height because they're so padded, and you don't really get much of a swing because you're so padded up yourself that when you try to swing, you just kind of just swinging.
Yeah, very slightly.
Yeah, you're not going like full arm, tackle, over the top, hitting them. You have to kind of like the amount you can swing is a lot lower.
Right.
Because you don't get that full range of motion.
That has been weird though, like on a side tangent with the NFL. I'm not even a big NFL guy. I don't really care for it too much.
Other side, there you go.
But one thing that I've always found is like, we're gonna try and stop concussions. It's a fundamental part of the sport. I don't think you can.
I think it's a good effort, but I don't have a solution to how they would do that.
Yeah, it's like I don't think you can stop it based on the way the sport is played unless you start doing touch football.
I think you start doing alternate ways of doing it.
Yeah.
You just can't tackle like that anymore, or they're going to take out certain styles of tackle, or they're going to have to change up rules.
Well, I mean, if you think about unless you're gonna start changing anatomy where the human brain is attached and it's not gonna jumble around.
No, yeah,
you're kind of screwed.
You're still gonna have risk. Much like a lot of people right now are having problems with boxing because I think 2 boxers just died.
He was 47, I believe, which is that's not old.
Yeah.
Despite what other people may think, 31's not old either, guys.
The sport is inherently dangerous, but until we decide that we're going to change up the rules and make it less of a violent contact sport, it's not going to change because the human body can only be protected so much. You're still taking G-forces from getting slammed.
That's why a lot of people are starting to go towards things like basketball instead, because there's a way less chance that you're actually going to get hurt.
There's rules in the fighting style that they did. I don't know what you would call it, just full plate, full contact armor fighting, where you can't do stabs. You can't you can't go for the knees. They're like knees. Once they get tore up, they get tore up. Don't kick the knee. Don't kick behind the knee. You can do trips and stuff, but
our friend that
don't go blows
had,
to it.
Had a name for it because he talked to me about it a little bit before and said, "Oh man, I think you'd really dig this." So when I heard you were going, I was like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I would have liked
the
it
only
gone.
problem is it was 100-degree weather.
100-degree weather, and
I think
then
you're gonna have to fall
Yeah.
and shoot your load.
it was just bad time. I was like, oh man, work's starting up again in a little bit. I really
Yeah.
need to finish this so I can submit it to my agency.
Well, they're having another one soon, so hopefully
so
good to go.
I'm definitely gonna go to that because when I heard about it,
It was
I'm like,
crazy,
"Ooh,
dude. It was
This is
full
a
nuts.
sketch fest. Like this is my jam, and he's not gonna care because it's all. I'm just gonna be watching, drawing him and other people.
And it wasn't crowded at all. Like there was probably 30, 40 people there, but it was a small gym. And on top of that, everyone kind of kept their distance because shit went flying. Like weapons got like thrown accidentally or let loose.
These arenas aren't that big, too.
They're not. They're probably 20 by 20 maybe. And
Yeah.
there's 2 dudes in them, plus a referee, and they even did a free for all with 4 people. And it's crazy seeing them. They just see like the biggest dude,
Yeah.
and they'll team up and then turn around and just hit another guy, and then turn around again, hope the big dude hasn't gotten back up. And there's just no teams for the most part.
Yeah.
It's crazy watching them in full plate armor, just pummeling each other, slamming each other with fists and shields.
Yeah, and our friend is pretty big too. I'm almost 6'2", and he's taller than I am, and he does judo or some form of martial arts.
He does, I think it's judo. So he was like judo tossing some guys, not like full tossing, but definitely like got them off of their center of gravity and just chucked them down. And once you lose your center of gravity and that weight, you're just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I can't even put my arm down to try and save myself.
I don't think there's much recovery at that point.
So the free-for-alls were last man standing, and the best
Right.
way to win was to either disarm your opponent, which means that you won, because there's no points in the free-for-alls. They're so messy, or knock them on their feet.
Oh.
So a lot of people will like team up, try and push one low, push one high, or they'll
Hey,
run
it's like
in.
Castle Crashers.
They'll run in, hit, and then they'll back up, and the other guy will run in, hit. Then they'll back up. Meanwhile, the other guy just has like a shield and a sword out, and he's trying to defend himself. Like, it's 2-on-1. There's nothing I can do other than try and survive long enough.
Right.
But it's crazy because then if the one guy gets a good blow on one of the ones who's attacking him, the 2-on-1, the one who's like on 2-on-1, the 2 side, will just be like, oh, fuck that, now I'm on big boy's side, and go for the guy who just lost his balance against the big guy. So it's like, oh man, there's no honor in these free-for-alls because you can't have it.
Yeah, no.
You know, someone will come up behind and just throw you. Or at least pump you enough to that was sick. Pummel you enough to get you off your balance. But it was crazy, dude. Our friend had it was just a stick with like a lead ball on the end. It was a mace of sorts, but it wasn't like a full. It was like a mini sledgehammer almost.
It's a hot girl weapon.
What? What is that?
Hot girl has a mace. That's all I can think of in my mind. So when I think of a character that wields maces,
Yeah, character like trope archetype type deal. Like what kind of character would wield this?
Hot girl.
Hot girl.
Cher.
But he had it, and it's one of the lighter weapons, even though it's so heavy on the tip.
Yeah.
So he went to town, hit somebody, got their arm down, held their arm down, and just plowed them with the heavy end of the mace against their head.
Ow.
It looked like the scene from Guillermo del Toro's with the little Mexican girl. She goes to like the fairy.
Oh,
realm.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. The scene where the general dude like takes the bottle and caves the guy's skull in. That's what it looked like. I'm like, oh shit! And he's just fucking pummeling him. I'm like, oh my god, that guy's gonna get hurt.
I still need to see Breath of Water. I've watched a lot of Del Toro stuff, but a lot of his animated stuff.
Yeah.
So he's done a couple of series for Netflix called Three Below, and he also did one called Troll Hunters.
Isn't he doing the new Scary Stories or whatever?
I
Del
don't.
Toro?
Probably. He does. He has so many projects.
Yeah, I think he's working on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Probably.
Which looks kind of cheesy, but you know, they're cheesy stories. All you need to do is have them super scary.
He's cheesy in general, but he's a good kind of cheese.
Yeah. He's definitely like a good balance of like camp with horror with uneasiness, you know.
I became super impressed by him when I was watching the behind the scenes for Hellboy.
That's right, he did Hellboy 2, the first one.
Hellboy 2 or 1, he pulled out his sketchbook. Dude's a freaking good draftsman. He's just not on top of being a great director, and I probably said this before. He's just a good artist in general, which is...
He's got a lot of imagination.
Yeah, he's a double threat. Heck, I might play the Kojima game just because he's in it.
Death Stranding really doesn't interest me because I don't know what it's about.
It doesn't interest me at all either. I mean, I love Metal Gear Solid 4, but I don't have any love for that type of game. Like, it looks silly.
Yeah, I don't.
Saying that about a Kojima game is kind of like a double entendre. You're like, what are you even saying? Of course it's silly.
It's a Kojima game.
It's a Kojima game.
That's like asking... Well, I don't have a good reference that would make any sense because it would do injustice to Kojima. But
Kojima's just Kojima himself.
Yeah, he's very much his own entity of like... What is this guy doing? It's weird and it's crazy and it's kind of on its own entirely insane. You got it. But Death Stranding, I'm not gonna play it. But Del Toro's very much in that same vein where it's just like kind of does his own thing and it works because it's so not its normal thing.
Right, but Del Toro has at least good story structure. Sometimes with Kojima, you're like, did you think this one through?
Yeah, I don't agree a lot with Kojima just because a lot of it seems complicated for the sake of being complicated or silly.
Yeah, but unlike Tetsuya Nomura, there's still some logic to it.
Oh, I see. You're traveling along the path.
Oh, okay. I thought that was it, but I didn't see that dead end. Whoop.
I think you
got
like
old Game Boy games.
There you go.
Oh, yep, that was it.
Yep. And there you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, not my style, but you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But it was just like that scene where he was just caving the dude's head in.
Did it.
And then, very nice, man. And then another one, they had smaller shields, kind of like little kite shields.
Yeah.
Like little versions that only covered up from like elbow to wrist.
Right.
And
that's what my paladin uses.
Yep. And some of them were wearing masks where it's basically just the top helmet and then the nose bar that comes down and then metal chain around to try and protect their face. But the people who were using the shields would like try and disarm them, put their other arm down, and then just pummel their faces with the flat end of the shield. Not like hitting them like as you would like with the fat side of like a dinner plate, but the actual like the part where you would set it down, one end as the tip and the other end is kind of flat. Yeah. Just slamming them up against the face like that. And it's like, oh my god, you see their head rocking back like they're getting boxed. But you can't do anything. They can't even defend themselves. Their arm. What the fuck is going on up there?
Someone's having a party. Jumping Jehoshaphat. Who fucking didn't let the door open?
Oh, don't hit that door, dude.
I gotta hit the door.
I know you gotta hit the door.
Gotta hit the door because I gotta let those little lemurs out. Get out of here.
Maybe hit it again so you like control their flow. It's timed.
They're just a metaphor for life.
Oh god. But that one's stuck. That is a metaphor for life. No matter how much you jump around, you just can't get out. Yeah, then someone will kill you through a wall.
Yeah, exactly. Just like those fights, someone's gonna come in with a cat shield and bash you in the face.
Yep. It was pretty cool though, the way like you see them like have camaraderie after.
Squawks, I didn't know you were in this game. Time to give you payback. That's for that level, you bat.
You know, they'd hug it out or walk up and just kind of slug each other after the match, and you know, it was really cool just the way that I was like, because you look at them and it looks like they're fighting because they hate the other guy.
Not an anvil.
Oh, they drop it way too slow. Not that one though.
That's not how gravity works.
But you'd see them just go to town on each other, like hit them when they get the most opportune time, which feels very cheap. But they absolutely like went out there and they're like, yeah, let's help each other, you know, plate up for armor. You can use my weapon to fight me. It's like, whoa, what, really? That's crazy.
Here's my weapon. Beat the shit out of me.
But some of them are really good with other weapons too. So like one of them had like a great falchion, which is kind of like what you imagine like a saber almost, but it's huge. It's two-handed, and this girl's really good with it. So they never fought with it because nobody wants to fight her with it because she's that good with it. Another person, they were like, yeah, we don't let him use...
We don't let Tammy fight with the great falchion anymore. Why?
Because she wrecks house.
Goes to the list. You see that number over there, all those tallies? Yeah. You see the other side? Yeah. See how there's no marks over there? Yeah. That's how many people have beaten her. Oh.
So she showed it to us and like showed her like techniques like spinning it around. And
I wish
how
I
if
had
you
that kind of
if you
dexterity.
if you go for certain hits, you can knock people off super easily just because the way it's weighted and everything. It's like, holy crap.
So you use like the weight of the sword.
Yeah, or you just try and like push and tip them if they go into like a fight where you actually allow, I think they called it tipping or kind of like fencing where you do like a stab, you know? But I don't know. They called it something different because... You okay?
What's the save point?
They called it something different because I guess you're not supposed to stab the armor. It's not, you know...
Yeah, because you could accidentally
go through a plate or something.
A plate or might go through an eye.
All that pressure in that single point will actually really hurt people.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That's not good. So we will see you guys next time. Same feeling at the save spot. I think even with the AC on, we're going to have to turn on the fans every now and then in this room.
I'm feeling fine, actually.
Speak for yourself then, Chris.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. Beep up, boop.
I'm wearing pants right now because all my clothes are dirty. Walking around in boxers is considered non-kosher in this household, so...
You have basketball shorts?
They're all dirty.
I don't want you walking around in boxers.
Yeah.
Basketball shorts are fine. Boxers are a little bit too like, that's the shape of your dick. I can see the shape of your dick.
I don't need to see that.